2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for Oklahoma City, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. And tonight it's a race of thoroughbreds, two clubs that can go end to end in a flash. What is it that makes these teams so good in transition?
THTA. TDI.
And what does that mean?
They have athletes to do it. Athletes to do it.
I knew what that meant.
That's it. Good ball handlers and good finishes, man. THT, HTDI.
Not only that, they spend a lot of time perfecting it. The moment they get the ball, TLTP. They look to push.
WSIDTKH we send it down to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Whoa.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's game time in Los Angeles. From the Staples Center, all the crowd ready to go as they look to cheer on the Lakers. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber, Greg Anthony. On our sideline is reporter David Aldridge. And a bit of a treat for all our fans out there. The one and only Kobe Bryant's going to join us for this portion of the broadcast. Kobe, what a great honor to have you with us. Thanks for stopping by.
No, happy to stop by. Thanks for having me.
You might have a career in broadcasting, though.
I'm good. I'm good.
No chance, huh?
No, thank you.
I'm glad we've got you tonight. This road trip for the Thunder kicking things off here in this one. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5 games.
Yeah, and Kevin, things are starting to get a little bit out of control for them. This losing streak is starting to become an embarrassment, and it's only going to get worse if things don't change.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, DA, a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. And with all the different technological advances in the league, you see a lot of player and coaches now reviewing clips and tablets and a lot of film sessions. I know you used to study a lot of the league's videotapes. How much easier is film study now, say, from the time in the late 90s when you got in the NBA?
It's so much easier.
Really?
Oh, my God. When I used to get in the hotel rooms, you used to have to call the front desk, and they used to roll up the TV on the wheels.
With the VCR machine.
With the VCR connected to it, right? And I have to have all of these tapes, and you got to put the tape in, and you got to rewind it, and you got to fast forward it, and rewind it.
Yeah.
Now it's just everything's right there in front of you, right? And it's very easy to skip and go to the next game and then jump back to the game before or fast forward to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's so easy now.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Inside, it's Patterson and Adams. A dynamic tandem of Westbrook and George, the backcourt. And it's Anthony in at the 3. And Randall throws it down.
That's a major league catch and flush right there. Randall's not a high flyer, but showing some explosiveness at the rim that time.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Now, here's Westbrook. 29 points for him last game against Dallas.
And his rebounding was solid in that effort as well. He did a lot of work on the glass. All around, just his effort level was off the charts.
Now, here's ball. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
Now, here's George. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Dallas. George sets a screen for Patterson. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
Solid pick to create that opening. The soft touch on the jumper.
Kobe, you're a father. You've enjoyed that process, but basketball got in the way a lot of that. How do you balance fatherhood and playing at the level you played at?
Yeah, when I was winning championships there, our kids were still relatively young, or I should say babies. In my last few years, they were older and knew they could really feel my absence. And so what I try to do is try to bring them along for the process. So there were mornings I would wake them up and say, let's go. So we're going. Well, Daddy's going to go train, so let's go.
No kidding.
And I bring them with me. And they'd be in the gym shooting around or kicking a soccer ball around or hitting a volleyball around. But I felt like it was important as a father to not just tell them about hard work, but they need to see what I'm doing. When you're sleeping, this is what I'm doing here for 3 hours. And so they're a part of the process and feel connected to the process. But traveling and things of that nature is very, very hard because there's been plenty of birthdays that I've missed and school plays that I've missed.
Oklahoma City shooting their first free throws of the night. That's good from Westbrook. Traveling was a part of your job, a part of mine. You missed some things with the kids, but I know you take pride, Kobe, in the fact that you made it to a lot of things as well. You were not an absent parent.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's having a great partner. I mean, my wife has been absolutely amazing, which I think is extremely important as well, because she really held down the fort at home, which to me is the toughest job in the world to do. I have it easy in terms of going out there and playing games, but to have the responsibility of actually raising young people to be outstanding citizens. You talk about pressure. I mean, that's I have to ask her how she feels about handling that. You know what I mean? Because that's true pressure.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Kobe, the league seems to be moving away from isolation basketball, sometimes called hero ball, in favor of more ball movement, more of a fluid offense. What do you make of that trend?
Well, I think it's the right thing. I mean, if you look at the way the Knicks played, for example, when they had Bill Bradley, Busher, Phil was coming off the bench.
Well, you are a historian. You love the history of the game, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can just tell working with you.
Yeah. Holtzman was coaching. You had Frazier out there. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, everything was predicated on ball movement, as was the Celtics with Fred Auerbach. And then in the 80s, things changed a little bit. You start going to more isolation ball, where guys would post deep and force a double coverage to come all the way down to him, and then you start moving the ball around. Now you start seeing a spread offense, where the ball's moving again like it was when the Knicks were playing and the Celtics were playing. And so, I think it just depends on the style of defense that you're seeing and the personnel that you have. I think that determines your style of play.
And Kobe, how did you learn to watch tape? Because there are guys now watching tape and they'll just go, and you wonder if it's really even sinking in.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right. But really, that was it.
Trial and error. You start looking at things, you start saying, man, like if I'm watching an edit on the player, and I watch one particular game, and then I look at the next game, and he's doing the same thing. And the next night, he's doing the same thing. Hold on, let me go back and watch. And then you start looking for consistent behaviors or patterns in their behavior. And then you think, okay, maybe that's something that's a tendency for him. Let me go back and check. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles. Oh, my God. Yeah,
there it is. Here's the pattern.
Right, so what if I interrupt him between his first and second dribble and throw him off a rhythm? What'll happen then? Right? What if I know he's going to go 1-2, turn right shoulder? I let him go 1-2. Now I jump to his right shoulder. Now you can't turn there. What happens then? Now you throw him off of their patterns.
George with the bucket.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going that one.
Randall, a screen on Westbrook. Back to Caldwell Pope. It's stolen by Adams. Now here's Westbrook. Defense right on him. The wide open look here for Anthony. Out of bounds. The Lakers will take possession. Kobe LeBron said he learned so much about how to approach the game when you shared the floor on Team USA. What was it like playing with a guy like him, as you also played with Jordan, and then going up against him all those years?
Well, I think it was a shocking experience for them because I don't think they realized how much I talk trash. So,
no.
Yeah,
what?
I don't think they knew because, you know, when you from a distance, Kobe, we thought you were really quiet and all some stuff, and you get to practice, and I just don't shut up. And I'm just saying really brutal things about their game. And it's just, you know, they're getting really ticked off. But
yeah,
then,
because you were right.
Yeah,
well,
but then the intensity of practice goes up another level. And then we'd all go out to dinner, and then the next morning, you know, we come into the meeting, and I've already been working out for 2 hours. And so then they see that, and then, you know, D-Wade would come up and say, hey, man, I want to join you in your workouts. What time are we going? 5 a.m. I'd be down there working out. And Brian said, yeah, I want to come too. And Brian would show up, and then Melo would show up. And all slowly but surely, we'd have our whole USA team in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning.
What a
training.
constructive time, I would think.
That was
for those
beautiful.
other players.
But it was fun for all of us because we got a chance to hang around each other and think about the competition, right? So now when we come back to the NBA, fans are getting a better product. Right, because we've all been working out and pushing each other and getting better off of each other. So now when we step on the court to compete against each other, that means we have to take our games to another level.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Oklahoma City on D, following the basket by Lonzo Ball. Ingram kicks to Caldwell Pope. Well, you got to play against some great defenders in the NBA like Draymond Green of Golden State and others. What are some of the things that, I mentioned Draymond Green, that he does as a player that you think separates him from the rest of the defensive guys in the league?
He does his research. He does his homework.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell. When you watch him play, he puts himself in position before the offensive player even attacks. And how does he know that? Because he's watched the film. He studies. He knows the player's tendencies. And so when you mix in the research to go along with his frame and the quick hands and the foot speed, then you have a defensive player that's a force.
And it's George missing.
Aggressive move to the bucket, and D is ready for it.
Here's Randall. The rebound by Patterson.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And it's Ingram missing. The Thunder have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. And here's Anthony from the arc. The rebound by Caldwell Pope.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And it's the quickness of ball that's a problem for defenders. Solid at finding ways to get fouled on the way up.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. Hey, Kobe, after dedicating pretty much your entire life to the game of basketball, a game that I know you love, you said you don't miss it. Why is that?
Well, because I've been through that process. I mean, I started playing the game when I was like 2 years old, and you know, playing professionally for 20 years, and I left no stone unturned. So there's no regrets there. You know, I've done everything I could possibly do, and truthfully, the game is still with me. You know, the discipline has changed. The industry might have changed, but the same approach, the same things that I've learned from the game, I carry with me to this day. So the game is still inside of me.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Kobe, for a guy like yourself who made an incredible amount of three-point shots during your career, what is it like watching Steph Curry? Just how much has he changed the league? It was always watching the dunks of Jordan. Now we got kids that want to shoot the ball from distance.
Yeah, shooting the ball from distance now has kind of become like a home run in baseball, right? Where it's exciting to watch the ball in flight. I think it's great because it just adds more love to the game, more things that players could do that, or kids can do that can't dunk, right? It's like dunking was the thing, right? But now the kids that can dunk, there's something else that's fun, something else that's entertaining, like shooting threes. Right? So
but boy, that takes a lot of work. Huh?
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's a lot of repetition.
Hundreds of shots daily.
Yeah, it's a lot of repetition. I mean, you know, Steph, you watch him out there playing and making all these shots. He's put in hours and hours and hours of hard work and continues to do so.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Grant the pass to Ferguson. And the rejection by Zubats. Thomas kicks to Fry. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. Fry's got 5.
Oh, the assist from Thomas. Finding the open man. Nice decision offensively.
With that three-point shooting on the rise, Kobe, if you were coming into the league right now, would you try to lean more in that direction than the incredible acrobat that you were when you were in your prime?
It depends who I was playing against. You know, I try to build my game to be able to do all those things.
And you could. I mean, you're like one of the few guys that could do it.
Yeah, so it just depends on who I was matching up against, which determines then how I would try to punish the defense.
I like that word.
yeah. I was trying to think of a softer one. And I was like, no, punish is a good one.
You're honest. You're honest. And that one misses. Talk, Kobe, about some of the great one-on-one scores. You might be the best ever, actually. But when you take a look at the crop now, who are some good guys in that one-on-one category that you like?
Kyrie's sensational. Yeah,
great handle. How about his handle? Like one of the best ever, man.
Yeah, but he can post too, though. I mean, that's the thing is he can post up. He can turn left shoulder. He can turn right shoulder. He can shoot a left-hand jump hook coming across the middle. He can pull up going left. He can pull up going right. He can attack off the handle. He can attack off a triple threat. You know, he's built the game without any weaknesses. I think most players, should be thankful that he's not 6'6".
You're right. He'd be Kobe Bryant then, right? He'd be Kobe Bryant. But I always thought that, when his dad played big-time college basketball, played in Australia, your dad played. I mean, there is something inherent, regardless of how much, that comes from the son of a pro player.
Growing up overseas as well.
Exactly, in Australia.
Growing up overseas as well. And look at his game being so fundamentally sound and having basic structure. There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. Now here's Ennis. His last outing, he had 8 points, 4 on the shot clock. And the trend around the league, Kobe, is more offense, more three-pointers, certainly spacing, fluid offense. Scoring is up around the league in a measurable way from, it seems like, year to year. Do you like the way this is trending, or do you think the NBA should maybe put a governor on this, harness it in just a little bit?
Well, I think it'll swing back to the way,
Do you?
Yeah, because the game has gone through that progression before. It's constantly evolving. And so I think you'll see it swing back eventually. You'll have a couple teams that are just big and may have a dominant post player, and all of a sudden you're going inside, and then that team will win a championship, and then the rest of the teams in the league will try to copycat the way the game is played that way. Then things will swing back. So it's just natural evolution of the game, I think.
So last season, Kobe, one of the closest MVP races we've had in a long time, came down to Westbrook and Harden. Who did you think was going to win before the results came out, and why?
Yeah, I didn't even stop to think about that because they're both like little brothers to me. So even though I could sit there and say,
LA
okay,
kids too.
Yeah, I know them both extremely well, and they're both extremely deserving of it. So I refuse to split it.
Yeah.
They're both my guys.
And different kinds of games, and both sensational individual players.
Yeah, they're just phenomenal. I mean, they can do so many things in the game. And now I think the next progression for them is to be able to dominate the game off the ball just as much as they can dominate on the ball, right? Because in the playoffs, the defense has a hard time finding it.
Now, here's Felton. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
That's a good way to boost his three-point percentage. Take advantage of some soft defense.
And the Lakers have possession after Oklahoma City gets the 3. And that one is good from Zubac. 1:15 left to play in the first quarter. And to have the ball in your hands at all times, always bringing it up. It's exhausting, though, right? That's what they say.
But
now,
for you, the defense sees you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're handling the ball, the defense has eyes on you at all times. You're here. You're right in front of the defense. When you don't have the ball, you're moving behind them. Curry moves behind.
All the time.
He'll bring it up, pass it, and now he's running off the screens behind the defense, right? And it's hard to find him.
Rip Hamilton the same way
Rip
when he
Hamilton
played.
same way.
I know.
Jordan, flare picks, down screens, slicing into the post, right? Coming up to the pinch post. All those operational things take place behind the view of the defense.
a free throw drops for Grant. And Grant drops them both. Ennis with the ball. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Passes to Fry. Doubled by Collison. Thomas against Collison. And it's good for two.
And, you know, though Thomas is a smaller player, his size doesn't deter him from getting close to the basket. I mean, that's what you have to love about this kid.
Now, here's Felton. D right on him. Grant, right side. Pass to Ferguson. Clock at 6. There's the dish to Robertson. Got a piece of it. They get it back, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. The Lakers with the ball, trailing by 2. And here's Ennis. Dishes it to Thomas.
Get there, get there.
He nails it, and we're tied up. Thomas got his second bucket.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Tie game in Los Angeles. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And what stands out to you from the Lakers in this one?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Well, it's all about the rim protection because it's been fantastic. A big part of helping them build this early lead.
Channing Frye out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Isaiah Thomas. Then it's Ennis. And it's Kuzma in at the 3 side. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. Now here's Ennis. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 3 on the clock. Thomas gets the bucket. Kobe, there are a lot of great guards and wings in the league right now. When you look around, are there any that remind you of the way you played, or maybe are approaching, you know, going down that road and say, I want to be like Kobe Bryant? I watch a lot of his tapes, much like you did when you were growing up.
Yeah, well, Isaiah has a hunger and a thirst for the game, and he's not going to stop. He's constantly curious. He's constantly
his
working.
His size makes him a different kind of guy, though,
Isn't that
doesn't
unbelievable, though?
It is shocking.
That's unbelievable. But he can finish at the rim. He can shoot the long ball. He can pull up left and right. You know, he has great physicality and a great body about him where he can punish bigs at the rim. And the other is Kawhi. I mean, when I watch Kawhi play, I'm just looking in the mirror. You know, the moves, the positions on the floor.
So glad you said that. I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and it's a great feeling because, you know, I'm sure Michael felt the same way. Right? When he retired and he watched me play, you're seeing the same spots. You're seeing a person who studied the person that came before, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already been created. You just put it on a different car.
Well, you know, he has been guided by his coaching staff to watch you and Michael Jordan tape, and yeah. I think that's kind of what he's done.
Yeah, well, we've you know, connected. We've talked about this stuff before in the past, and you know, again, he's a curious kid.
And all business.
Yeah, curious. He steps out on the floor. He's all business. There's nothing funny. There's nothing silly going on. He's here to do his job, and he's here to help San Antonio win games.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Anthony's checked in. So we can't get either to fall. And Kobe, you look around the league and you see a lot of former players as head coaches, guys that you actually played against. Have you ever thought about coaching down the line?
Nope. No, I have not. Not for me. You know, it's for them, though, but it's not for me.
I would think that it would be tough to try to get the same result out of players you coach and not comparing it to the way you play, the way you prepare, the way you were coached.
That's what I hear. I just don't have the desire to even think about it that far. I mean, it's not something that I'm into. But that's the challenges I hear.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Each team is stepping up, rising to the challenge. Yet another lead change.
And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
You know? And Derek Fisher, Ronny Turiaf is one of my all-time favorites. Lamar Odom, Shaq, obviously, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. I mean, I've been very fortunate to play with some great teams. Horace Grant, AC Green. I mean, the list goes. Ron Harper. I mean, I can go on and on all day long. Brian Shaw. I mean, I was very fortunate to have some really good teammates.
For Oklahoma City, they have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
And the first one drops. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top 2 guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the 2 guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering a 2 guard.
Right, because they just blend,
twos,
don't they?
The threes, they all just blend.
Combo guards, you're playing some forward because it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, you know, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a 2 guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael. Because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes,
so,
who always brought it up.
Yeah, so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Well, Kobe, more and more front offices around the NBA embracing analytics. At the same time, a lot of veteran executives who have kind of the old-time group have been somewhat critical of that approach. Which side do you take on that?
Well, I mean, I think there's use for analytics. You know, what they do is they tell you what's happening or what's happened. But you still need the keen eye to be able to understand why they happen. And that's what numbers can't tell you.
Put some meaning in back of the numbers.
Exactly, right? It's tough to understand if you see a player shooting this percentage. You know, there's the first 5 games of the season, he shot X. The last 3 games, he shot Y. And you don't understand why. The numbers will tell you that, but maybe he had something going on at home that was bothering him emotionally, right? And therefore his focus was elsewhere, and so his shooting percentage went down, right? The numbers don't show you that. It doesn't show you the emotion of a player.
Under the leadership of Commissioner Adam Silver, the league, Kobe, has been proactive, looking to improve the game. What are some changes you'd like to see coming up in the future?
Well, more physical play. That's one of the things I think, it just drives me crazy.
You never shied away from physical play.
Well, no, I mean, this is the NBA, right? So I always look at the NBA as another level of play, another level of physicality. It's not the same calls that are being called in high school or being called in college. This is another level. And it certainly used to be that way. Now there's a lot of little touchy fouls here and there that I'd rather see not be a part of the game.
That has changed, hasn't it?
Oh, my goodness. In Europe, the game is actually more physical. Think about that for a second.
Wow. Hey, Kobe, in recent years, we've seen a lot of players choosing in free agency to join up, join forces, join friends, other talented players. What do you think of Durant and Golden State, the big three with LeBron going down to Miami? What are your thoughts on that trend?
Well, everybody's got to do what they feel is best for them. Personally, it wasn't really my cup of tea. I'd much rather compete against those guys and do it that way. If winning in LA wasn't going to happen, then it just wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to leave and go someplace else and join forces to try to win a championship.
How about recruiting players, like say, hey, come to the Lakers and you and I can do something special here?
Yeah, listen, that's fine. That happens. Players talk to each other, play with each other. But it never crossed my mind to try to recruit another top player that I'm competing against.
Interesting.
Never. I've always wanted to compete against them. So that's a little strange to me.
And you think, Kobe, of these super teams, it's like they need backup. Like a buddy, like walking down the hall in high school with the bigger guy, right? I don't sense you ever...
No, but it's like, growing up, I watched Magic and Michael go at it. I watched Magic and Bird go at it. I don't want to see them play together. Personally, I don't want to see that.
Right.
Like, what would my childhood be if Magic and Bird played on the same team? What would we be watching?
Magic's Lakers, Jordan's Bulls, Bird's Celtics.
Yeah. It's and even for Michael,
so.
If you ask Larry, you ask Magic, you ask Michael, they much rather compete against each other, right? Because you bring out the best in each other. They would have won every single championship from now until the day they retire if they played together, right? But that's not the point. The point is the competition.
And your team.
Yes.
And he sinks the second. And you look at the NBA today and the social media, Kobe, a lot easier for NBA players to connect with fans over that social media platform. However, it's also easier to get people in trouble. Players have got to keep that periscope up, so to say. How hard do you think that is to manage?
Well, I think now in this particular generation, the sensitivity towards things you may hear or see on social media is much different than it would have been years ago. In other words, nowadays for athletes to be on social media, it's more easily tolerable for them to say something, right? Or to be able to speak their mind.
Yes.
And I think the important thing is just the consistency in that. If you have a thought and you want to say it, right? Put it out on social media. Do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The key is just to be consistent and be who you are, not be afraid to be who you are.
Kicks to George. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot two. So I think for players, Kobe, when they've been criticized on social media, I think they feel it's better to sleep on a reply and see if that same thought still resonates the next morning, because a lot of in the heat of a post game, you read something, guys go off.
Yeah, they do, and at the same time, when that does happen, because it's going to happen, no matter how many times we say it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, to be able to step back and say, okay, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment, and I said what I felt.
Yeah.
And here's why I felt that way. And now you're ready to move on. It's a lot like life. People say stuff all the time that they don't necessarily mean, right?
I never felt, though, that you ever said anything that you truly did not believe in your heart.
Yeah, well, I think most people do, right? When you're having a moment, you're looking at it, you say, you know what, should I send this out on social media? Yeah, I really believe this. I really do. And then you send it, and the next morning you're like, oh, no, what did I do? What?
You had no regrets, though?
No, everything's a life lesson for me.
For all of us.
Yeah.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
His free throw ability makes him tough to defend in the post. Teams can't get too physical with him.
And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1. And Boston is absolutely excited about having the split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to L.A. And so that was an interesting playing fight for us, and then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2, coming back to L.A., and then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. Can't get any better than that.
Lopez with the steal. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Caldwell Pope, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Oh, good anticipation. KCP reads the play, makes the steal, then quickly gets them out in transition.
And in the history of the NBA, only a handful of players have lasted 20 seasons. Kobe, you played all 20 with the Los Angeles Lakers, an NBA record for seasons with one team. What does it mean to just having worn that Laker jersey your entire career?
Well, I mean, it's a huge honor. I've always been a massive Laker fan, even when I was a kid. And so I never dreamed that I'd actually be wearing the golden armor for my NBA career. So to be sitting here right now, having played 20 years, is literally the coolest dream that could have ever happened to any kid happened to me.
And I don't know that it'll happen again. The way the league is structured now, the money, the free agency, even though you had a chance to leave a couple times, you always chose to stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you know, loyalty is a word that you hear thrown around often. But in this day and age, it's very tough to see in sports, because of the cap, because of, you know, the free agency market and so forth and so on. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a great organization and to be able to have played 20 years of my career here.
Ball with it. George picks him up. There's the screen. Randall kicks to Ball. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. And some great passing here so far. Let's check out this chart that breaks down where the assists have been coming from for the Thunder.
And we see the bigs really creating shots for everybody offensively. That's been a key factor here for them. Playing inside out, collapsing the defense, and creating open look.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
Yeah, I'm with you. Disgraceful performance and an issue that might be tricky to fix.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Well, you have to review your matchups, make sure you're maximizing the potential of each one.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. Kobe, you played in a big market like Los Angeles, one of the biggest in the world, but many are saying that market size matters less and less into the future of the NBA. Do you agree with that?
Well, in a certain aspect, yes, because of the digital age that we live in. I mean, the world is considerably smaller. You have access to market at the touch of a button.
So we see Milwaukee Bucks highlights with Antetokounmpo as much as we would see a Kobe Bryant highlight with Los Angeles.
Absolutely. But still, fundamentally, to play in a market like Los Angeles, you know, Los Angeles being the entertainment capital of the world, New York being the great market as well, it's hard to top those no matter how digitally enhanced our society becomes.
Kobe, a big part of the talent evaluation today is the psychological impact in that aspect, which I think will lead teams toward one prospect over another. If you were looking for personality traits in players and you were making that decision for a team, what trait would you value the most in a player?
Oh, curiosity. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's curiosity.
Why so?
Because curious people will always ask why things work or don't work.
And you were a big why asker.
You have to, because that's the only reason you win, is when you can figure out why things happen or didn't happen.
Time out.
Right? If you lose a game, a curious person won't point the finger. A curious person will say, well, why did we lose? Instead of just saying them.
Right.
They're going to go back and check the film and ask questions. Okay, why did we mess up there? Why did we blow that coverage there?
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, their last outing was a rough one. Have to be careful of falling in love with that three.
Yeah, it looks good when it's going in, but they definitely force some. Overall, pretty inaccurate from out there.
Ennis dishes to Fry. There's the pick. Back to Ennis. Pass to Zubac. And here's Fry from the arc. Hits it from three-point range. Fry's got 10 points.
You love it when the big fella shows off his ability from beyond the arc.
Outside, Felton. Collison with the screen for Felton. Inside, layup off the pick. And the call will be against Nick Collison. That's foul number 2 for him. Lakers leading by 3. Ball, the pass to Fry. Feeds to Ball. Out left to the wing. And the pass to Fry. Shoots over Grant.
And he got off to a nice start, but has slowed down here in the second quarter. And great effort on the boards, and what a move that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And how relentless is this guy? If you're the defense, he's the first one you're looking to block out there.
.122 left in the first half. And stolen by Fry. Hey, Kobe, thanks so much for stopping by and having some fun with us tonight on the broadcast. Hope we can do it again real soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Kobe Bryant. And, Greg, how much fun was it to get to hear the perspective of Kobe and pick his brain while broadcasting a game?
I mean, it's just always interesting to hear what Kobe will notice about a player or a team that most fans, and for that matter, even some former players, they just don't think about it. I think that's sometimes what gets lost with the truly great ones. Their minds don't function the way us normal human beings would go about looking at things.
The free throw drops for Grant. And the Lakers have picked second in the draft now for 3 consecutive years. Out of all the players they've acquired, Chris, who do you think has the chance to be the best, Ingram or Ball?
Well, I definitely like Ingram. I think his upside, his potential, his athletic ability. He's wiry. They played him a little at point last year. His rookie season wasn't dominant, but that doesn't mean anything. I really like his game. But I really like Alonzo Ball. I think he brings that talent and leadership. I think he has the talent to become that franchise player. And forget what I think. Magic thinks that.
The offensive rebound. The layup off target. 2-for-1 chance here.
Let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
The feed to Robertson. 27 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Ferguson, the pass to Grant. Over Fry. Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Grant. Now Ennis. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. They set the pick. Ball with a wide open look. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. And the Lakers lead by 6.
And you've got to stay with Ball off that pin down. He's very smart at knowing how to position himself in these situations.
And so that brings the first half to a close. The Lakers on top as they end the second quarter on a 15-6 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Contavious, you've been able to produce easily and efficiently in the first half. What's enabled you to keep it going?
I'm just moving on the offensive end and just finding an open spot. They turn their heads a lot, so I'm just trying to get to the open spot and then knock down a shot. Either I'm cutting to the back or I spot up for the 3.
You've been on a roll so far. We'll see if you can keep it up. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. In the second quarter, they were easily the better team. The points started coming for them in bunches, and they built a 6-point lead by halftime. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. You look at Jeremy Grant, what a contribution.
Yeah, he's really been catching the defense off guard so far here in this game, racking up a bunch of trips to the line.
Well, and a few times he's done a good job of initiating contact, yet getting the foul call on the defender.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Thunder trailing by 6. And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. The dynamic tandem of Westbrook and George, the backcourt. Inside, it's Patterson and Adams. And it's Anthony in at the small forward. And Adams kicks to Anthony. Just 5 on the clock. Sinks that one from the post. Anthony's got the first basket of the second half. That one for Oklahoma City. Lakers leading by 4. Ball dishes to Randall. He feeds it to Ball. Picked by Randall. Caldwell Pope. They get it back. The shot, no good. Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Westbrook drives in. George. Here's Patterson. Got a hand on it.
Not really blessed with the length to be a big-time rim protector, but Randall gets most of his blocks by playing with energy.
Here's Westbrook. Three-pointer. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Caldwell Pope for 3. Another miss by Caldwell Pope.
Third straight miss to start the half, but it's still early. No need to panic.
Outside Westbrook. George with the ball. Now guarded by Ingram. And Patterson kicks to Westbrook. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Patterson can't get it to go.
Look, it hasn't happened yet, but he's got time to find his rhythm. And if he does, they can turn this thing around quick.
And Brandon Ingram doesn't show a lot of emotion on the court. He keeps a pretty even keel.
Yeah, sleepy-eyed, soft-spoken. His face is hard to read. If you ask his coaches, though, he's a sponge, always paying attention and absorbing his surroundings.
Westbrook passes to George. And they're on the break. Ingram wide open. Second chance shot, and it's Lopez laying it in. Lopez has got 6.
Whatever drawbacks Lopez may have, scoring in the post isn't one of them. He is a nightmare for opposing defenses to deal with down low.
Here's George. And he makes good on the layup. George has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Ball kicks to Randall. He dishes it to Caldwell Pope. From the wing, Carmelo Anthony grabs the board.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
I think the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but
The advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He's off on the first. And Chris, when you played, you were known as a guy at your size who could rip and run, take it coast to coast. You look around the league now, who are some of the best big men ball handlers?
Oh, you love it. If you get that board, you got to be able to take it, speed up the offense. We've seen Draymond just have a field day doing it with all the players on his team that can knock it down and score. Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis. We've even seen Paul Millsap and Julius Randle do it a little bit. So I love the fact that if you can get that board and push it, it makes it easier because you don't have to look for the outlet. You can actually find that point guard, that 2-guard in transition, and let them score, and you be the facilitator.
Back to Thomas. He kicks to Caldwell Pope. Shot clock at 5. Passes it to Ingram. Nailed from three-point land. Ingram's got 9.
Ingram operating well off the screen. Very agile for his size.
Westbrook kicks to Patterson. Westbrook up top. He's guarded by Thomas. Westbrook with the bucket.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
And checking out the numbers for Ingram. How last month turned out for him, getting around 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he continues to hone his game. I think the potential is there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the potential, but it's raw. He needs to keep refining that skill set.
Thomas with the steal. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
He's been off target for the most part, but it hasn't held them back as a unit.
Here's Adams. 6 points for him. Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Ingram. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Los Angeles has gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Westbrook against Thomas. To the inside. And Adams sends it back. Outside, George. Pass to Westbrook. Over Thomas. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Isaiah Thomas.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
That one drops. He ties it up.
He's so confident, so self-assured on every free throw he takes.
Lopez, a screen on Westbrook. Here's Thomas. Here's Lopez, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option. And we all know Brook Lopez can score in the post, and he might be just as valuable working from the elbow and running in that pick and pop action.
And he knocks down the first one. And Brook Lopez with the ability to face up and Greg post up.
High post or low. I mean, his passing and shooting ability give him that versatility. He is a load to handle for our defense.
Brook Lopez hits them both. And so here is Oklahoma City. A 2-point game. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Lakers team.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
On the wing, George. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. 4 on the shot clock. It's tipped. Ingram with the steal. Jumps up and slam dunk by Ingram.
And how about the huge wingspan of Ingram, really causing the opposition a number of problems.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Anthony dishes to Westbrook. Screen by Adams. Here's Anthony. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
You're right. They are precise in how they ran that play. Exceptional timing. That's all good stuff.
Lopez, a screen on George. Shot off the screen. Another shot. Lopez kicks to Ingram. Bangs home the trifecta. Ingram's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Los Angeles. Now, here's George. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Westbrook. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Westbrook's got 8 here in the quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Lakers leading by 3. Lopez, a screen on Westbrook. Thomas passes to Lopez. Outside for Thomas. Pick by Randall for 3. Caldwell Pope. Can't hit that one. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Here's Patterson. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Now just a 1-point Los Angeles lead.
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
Timeout called the Lakers. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Both teams will make substitutions. Thomas rejected by Collison. Grant outside. The dish to Robertson for the lead. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got rebound number 5 here tonight. It's taken away by Collison. Here's Ferguson. And the rejection by Zubac. Thomas, it's a wide open look, and the 3-ball is good. Thomas got 11 points.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
Out left to the wing, here's Roberson. And a miss there on the triple. Los Angeles leading by 4. Right side, Collison. Here's Ferguson. He's guarded by Thomas. Felton the pass to Ferguson. And the rejection by Zubac. Outside Thomas. Pass to Zubac. Here's Kuzma. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, we see so many of these players, Chris, in the NBA reach notoriety very early in their careers, sometimes even while they're still in high school. What was it like growing up as a star athlete and all the hype that surrounds it? You were the #1 high school player in the country coming out.
Well, you have to stay focused. You know, I didn't grow up in this era of social media and everything. I can only imagine that pressure now, but really you have to stay focused. You have to realize that you're just in the middle of your goal. You're not a celebrity or a star yet, no matter how good you are on that level. Everybody in the NBA has been the best player on their team at some point in time, so things are going to even it out. You have to stay focused, stay goal-oriented in school and in sports, and hopefully the best things will happen. And if you're lucky, like I was, you have some real good people around you, whether family or friends.
Yeah, good mentors, right? That's got to be important.
Yeah, you definitely got to have good mentors, whether it's coaches that can encourage you to spend all your time on the court, or whether it's friends and family that encourage you to stay focused and not kind of get caught up with others that may not have a focus or a love or a passion right now. So you just really need good people. It takes a village, and for guys that are feeling so much fame and getting so many accolades at such a young age, it's hard to handle as an adult. Just imagine trying to handle that as a kid. So you definitely need a lot of good people around you in your corner to help you succeed in life.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
I think you'll probably see more arguments on those illegal screen calls than just about any other play, maybe the charge call, but guys never think they were moving.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Ennis sets the screen for Thomas. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Isaiah Thomas, phenomenal in the pick-and-roll game.
Well, he's one of the best isolation scorers in the league. It's almost impossible to keep him in front of you because he has so many ways to score. He has a low center of gravity. He's quick, and he's not afraid of contact.
And Isaiah Thomas, the 60th and final pick of the 2011 draft. Greg, he definitely plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I call it the little man syndrome. He's driven to prove himself. I mean, he's overcome the odds. In league history, only 9 players 5'9" or shorter have played 1,000 minutes or more in a season. And he's not just playing, he's playing at the highest level.
That free throw good from Isaiah Thomas.
You love the edge that Thomas plays with. He knows there's no other way to play his game.
Both free throws good from Isaiah Thomas. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Fry, good.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Now, here's Felton. Defense right on him. Dishes it to Grant. Over Fry. It's hauled in by Fry. Fry's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Thomas. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And it's a 6-point Los Angeles lead.
You just can't take away everything one way or another. Thomas is going to get buckets.
Kicks to Collison. Felton with the ball. Now guarded by Ennis. Robertson dishes to Grant. Oh, that's blocked. And there's 1:45 left in the third.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Can they get it? And the dunk by Robertson.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
Now here's Ennis. He's covered by Felton. Teardrop shot. Here's Zubats. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. Ennis has got 3 assists tonight.
Great job right there, Kevin. Beating the defense to the spot. Love the strong, aggressive effort right there.
Felton kicks to Grant. At the elbow, it's Collison. The tray. The three-pointer is right on target. Roberson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
You have to extend the defense there, unless you want him to punish you repeatedly from beyond the arc.
Ennis passes to Kuzma. Outside Thomas. Now here's Ennis. He's guarded closely.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Raymond Felton.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Ennis with the ball. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. And we've reached the end of the third. Los Angeles on top, up by 7. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Just an observation. We got to get a whole lot more physical. Loose balls we need to dive on. We need to get more physical.
Billy D putting emphasis on toughness and tired of seeing his team get pushed around.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, it's torture watching your guys get moved around out there. Might need a personnel change if this continues.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. They've got Ivica Zubac all out there with Ennis. Then there's Channing Frye, and it's Kuzma in at the small forward position. That's the Laker 5.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Yeah, that won't go on the stat sheet. Close to getting the block, but really, it had the same effect.
Here's Felton. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. A different look for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Anthony comes in for Grant, and it's George in for Ferguson. Both free throws good from Felton. And the Lakers, Greg, have acquired some intriguing young talent. Do you see this group blossoming into elite status?
I mean, there's still some question marks. Injuries have been an issue. I do see some all-star potential for some of their young fellas. Superstar potential, though, tougher to say. They've got something to build on, though, and that's key.
Thunder trailing by 5. Right wing. Anthony left side. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. 10 points for Carmelo Anthony.
And he has the chops for this, raising the intensity when it matters most.
Well, he's showing you he wants to close this game out. That's an attitude that he brings and is appreciated by this team.
Ball no good. The Thunder shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Here's Anthony. It's deflected. And here is Ball. Inside. Anthony with it. He's against.
Oh, that athletic.
Yeah.
Wow. Jumped out of the gym. And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space. Feeds it to Ball. For the three. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Well, this has not been his best effort. He's lucky his teammates have been there to bail him out.
Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Ennis kicks to Fry. Here's Kuzma. Clock at 6. The pass to Zubac to the left wing. Here's Ennis. Los Angeles with another miss. The Thunder with the lead. Felton dishes to Adams. Back to Felton. And there's the feed to Adams. Ra. Passes it to Ennis. And he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
Outside for George. No good from outside. The Lakers have gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. They grab their own miss, and he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
He lives for these type of battles on the boards. It doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Patterson comes in for Roberson. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Raymond Felton. The free throw drops for Zubac. Thunder trailing by 4. Westbrook kicks to Adams. Screen by Adams. Now here's Westbrook. Tight defense on him. Here's Patterson. The shot, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. And it's off from three-point range. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up. So we'll see Russell Westbrook go to the line here. Lonzo Ball picks one up. And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
The Lakers in the lead. Ball kicks to Randall. Ball sets a screen for Randall. Los Angeles with another miss. Thunder have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Here's Patterson. The shot's good on the assist by George. And the Thunder lead by 1.
A good score inside, and the defense really offering very little resistance.
That's just an attack mindset. I love it. Game on the line. He's out competing guys.
And they pick up 2. 10 points for Brook Lopez.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Adams with the screen on Caldwell Pope. Outside Anthony. He's looking for Patterson and finds him. Here's the lob to Adams. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. Drains the three-pointer.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there may be more in store.
Westbrook kicks to Anthony. It's tipped. It's stolen by Randall. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. And that'll be his third foul so far. Lakers leading by 4. Pass to Randall. He feeds it to Ball. Adams gets a hand on it. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Gentlemen, two shots. Roof shots.
That free throw good from Patterson.
A meteoric ascent for Luke Walton. 2 years before signing as coach for the Lakers, he was a part-time assistant with their development team. Now the youngest head coach in the league. He's almost 2 years younger than Kobe Bryant.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Talk about compiling your coaching resume in a hurry. Luke Walton, in his first year as an assistant, wins a title. And in year 2, as interim head coach, leads the Warriors to the best start in league history.
Well, it's all about timing and grace. A 24-0 start. With Walton at the helm, they went 39-4. It catapulted him to the front of the line among head coaching candidates.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Oh, that was sweet, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Not only can he set up others, but he can also be a big-time finisher.
Great move to get to the rim. I think they're going to take the aggressive approach down the stretch.
I mean, that's the right call. Make the defense get physical with you and pick up some fouls in the process.
There's the dish to Ball. To the paint, here's Randall, and Randall throws it down.
Anytime Randall gets near the rim, you better look out. It's about to be a brutal finish.
Westbrook kicks to George. Back to Westbrook. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. George has got 3 assists tonight.
Like how confident Westbrook is close to the rim. Gets high off the ground and releases his shot quickly.
Ball, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Picked by Randall. Ball dishes to Caldwell Pope. Clock at 6. From 15 feet away, it's hauled in by George. George has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Anthony. Lays it up off the glass. And it's now only a 1-point Los Angeles lead.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
Pass to Lopez. Randall against Patterson. Randall kicks to Caldwell Pope. Randall a screen on George. On its way from Caldwell Pope for 2. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick.
Just fantastic to have a scorer like Caldwell Pope, a guy who can let it rain from any spot on the floor.
Caldwell Pope against George. A rebound by the Lakers. Lopez has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. On its way from Caldwell Pope for 2. The quick look, no good that time. Patterson can't get it to go.
That type of defense doesn't always get it done, but it does the job that time.
Caldwell Pope passes to Randall. He dishes it to Ball. And Adams sends it back. They retain possession, and he recovers it. Good on the shot.
He's feeling it this half. Total turnaround after a rough first half.
Thunder trailing by 5. And George, here we go. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Lopez. He's looking for Caldwell Pope and finds him. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line. So it'll be Contavious Caldwell Pope shooting. That one on George. And with Caldwell Pope, a player who worked on his outside shot and got it to a point, Chris, where he is a threat now on the perimeter. Has that signature plant then drift type of jump shot, but it works for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, all Contavious needed was a little bit of time. I mean, it just takes a little time to get better in this league. KCP went from being average to deadly in the span of a year.
That free throw good from Caldwell Pope.
And Caldwell Pope is a guy you cannot leave open at any time. Just a very good shooter from any spot on the floor.
Dishes to Anthony. Here's Patterson out to Anthony. Puts up a three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Randall's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Shoots the three. And it's Ingram missing. Thunder trailing by 6.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Anthony. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
Yeah, just superb focus there from Melo. Overpowering the D, one of the best shooters we have in this game.
Lobbed up there for Westbrook. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Kicks to Randall. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. And here we go with Adams running it up the court. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
Elbow. 2. Gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Both good from the line that time.
When the score is close, you want this guy on the line.
The Lakers in the lead. Now Ball. Now here's Randall. Caldwell Pope outside. Offline with his 3.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
No, I mean, there had to be a better option that time down the court. That's just a missed opportunity.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here, Clark.
I mean, at some point, you got to think about subbing some of these guys out, getting them a little bit of a breather. They just can't keep up.
Back to Randall. Ingram kicks to Caldwell Pope. Shot clock at 6. Over George. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Oklahoma City's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's Patterson. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
I mean, truth is, if you play long enough, sometimes you're going to have a bad quarter, even a bad game. I doubt that this shakes his confidence.
Westbrook. Mission incomplete. His 5th miss in 14 tries. The 3. That one, no good. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Here's Anthony. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
You had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
First free throw is good, and that gives them the lead. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a two-point ball game.
Close game. He nails every free throw. He's showing a lot of confidence.
And the Lakers call time here. They're trailing by 2. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And usually you want to go for the 2-for-1 here to maximize the clock.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, I listened in on what Luke Walton said to his team. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Feeds it to Ball. Lopez, a screen on Westbrook. Here's Ball. Oh, he can't jam it home. And they're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
You know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And the second of 2 is good. That makes it a 3-point lead. Timeout called the Lakers. They're trailing by 3. We've got 13 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, you'd love to be able to clear space and get that triple, but you can also do the 2 with a quick foul.
Well, these are some of the toughest decisions. I mean, a good argument can be made for either case.
Here's Ingram. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation of coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Shots.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. He's off on the free throw and able to get that second one to drop in. To end the drought, off the mark. So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Carmelo. Team has had a nice run of late here. What do you think's been the difference?
Just feeling a little bit more confident than we have in the past. Just taking it one day at a time. Something to click. And we're doing our job right now. We trust in one another. We believing in one another on both ends of the court. And it's working for us.
Chemistry's really showing up nicely now, Melo. Thanks again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. See you later.